The Galactic Council chamber stretched 3 kilometers in diameter, a magnificent sphere of transparent alloy that floated in the void between stars. Kivin stood at the human delegation's platform, his pulse hammering against his throat as he watched representatives from 800 civilizations materialize through quantum gates. He'd spent 6 years preparing for this moment, humanity's first petition for membership in the collective. He didn't know he was about to become the most famous human in the galaxy. Delegate Kivin Chen of Earth, the Arbiter's voice resonated through his neural implant, translated from a language his species hadn't evolved the organs to comprehend. You may present your species case. Kivin activated his holographic display, centuries of human achievement compressed into a presentation designed to prove humanity worthy. Art, science, philosophy, everything that made them more than the expansionist primitives most species assumed them to be. He was 3 minutes into his speech when she arrived. The quantum gate at the chamber's apex flared with light that shouldn't exist in normal space. Every sensor in the chamber screamed warnings. The Arbiter's form flickered with what Kivin had learned to recognize as alarm. Then Anna stepped through. She was Jathik, one of the eldest species, beings who'd achieved interstellar civilization when Earth was still cooling from its formation. Her form was vaguely humanoid, but that's where similarity ended. Her skin shifted with colors that existed outside human visual spectrum, translated by his implant into approximations of deep violet and silver. 6 eyes arranged in a geometric pattern across her face fixed on Kivin with an intensity that made his knees weaken. But it was her crown that made every being in the chamber freeze. The crystalline structure that floated above her head, held in place by controlled gravity. Only one Jathik alive had earned the right to wear it. Queen Anna of the Jathik Concordance, the Arbiter managed, its voice stripped of its usual neutrality. This is unexpected. Your people withdrew from council proceedings 17,000 years ago. I am aware of my people's history, Arbiter. Anna's voice bypassed the translation system entirely, speaking directly into the minds of every being present. Ancient, powerful, terrifying in its certainty. I have come to make a claim. The chamber erupted in confusion. Claims were ancient legal constructs, rarely invoked, allowing powerful species to assert rights over resources, territories, or, in the rarest cases, other beings. Anna descended through the zero-gravity environment with impossible grace, moving past platforms holding species that had ruled star systems before humanity discovered fire. She ignored them all. She stopped directly in front of Kivin. I claim this human, she announced, her 6 eyes never leaving his face. Kivin Chen of Earth, under the old laws witnessed by the collective, I declare him mine. The silence that followed was absolute. 800 civilizations, representatives of trillions of souls, held their collective breath. Kivin's mind reeled. His implant frantically fed him information. Claims hadn't been invoked in over 4 millennia. The last one had triggered a war that consumed 12 solar systems. The legal implications were staggering, the political ramifications incalculable. And he had absolutely no idea why this was happening. Queen Anna, he managed, his voice embarrassingly shaky compared to her infinite calm. I don't understand, we've never met. One of her hands, she had 4, he noticed distantly, reached out and touched his chest. Where her fingers made contact, his skin tingled with energy that his implant couldn't classify. Haven't we? She tilted her head, an eerily human gesture. Tell me, Kivin Chen, 5 years ago when your exploration vessel encountered a derelict ship in the Horsehead Nebula, do you remember what you found? His breath caught. The mission was classified, sealed under so many levels of security that even thinking about it triggered warnings in his implant. They'd found a ship, yes, ancient beyond measure, system still operating on principles human science couldn't explain. And inside, in a stasis chamber that had been running for longer than human civilization had existed, they'd found. You, he whispered. Anna's expression shifted into something that might have been a smile. I had been sleeping for 63,000 years. My ship's systems failed. I was dying, locked in a cycle between life and death, unable to wake, unable to truly sleep. And you, Kevin Chen, sat with me for 47 days while your team worked to decode my ship's language. You talked to me, read to me from your human literature, played me music from your world. You couldn't have heard me. You were in stasis. The medical scans showed no brain activity. Your scans don't know what to look for in a Jathic neural structure. She stepped closer. I heard every word, every note. For 63,000 years I had been alone in the dark and you gave me light. The Arbiter found its voice. Queen Anna, with respect, gratitude does not necessitate a claim. The human fulfilled a humanitarian duty. I am not finished, Arbiter. The temperature in the chamber dropped 10 degrees. When my ship's automatic systems finally restored enough function to wake me, Kevin Chen made a choice. My vessel contained technology beyond human comprehension, weapons that could crack planets, power sources that could fuel your species for 10,000 years. His superiors ordered him to secure these assets for Earth. Kevin remembered the heated arguments with Command, the threats to his career, his freedom. He refused, Anna continued. He sealed my ship's systems, locked them with a code only I would know. Then he helped me leave, gave me time to escape before his government could stop him. He sacrificed everything humans value, advancement, recognition, wealth, to respect the autonomy of a being he'd just met. She turned, addressing the entire council now, her voice filling every mind present. I have lived for 98,000 of your years. I have seen civilizations rise and fall like waves on a shore. I have witnessed every form of nobility and degradation your various species can achieve. And in all that time, across all those millennia, I have never encountered a being who showed such integrity at such personal cost. Her attention returned to Kevin. So yes, Arbiter, I claim him, not as property but as partner, not as subject but as equal. Under the old laws, a claim is also a bond, a recognition that two beings, regardless of species or origin, have found in each other something precious enough to stake one's honor upon before the entire galaxy. Kevin's implant was screaming warnings about his elevated heart rate. Anna, I'm not. I'm just a xenoarchaeologist. I did what anyone should have done. But they wouldn't have, and you know it. She extended her hand to him. I am not asking you to love me, Kevin Chen. I am not even asking you to like me. I am asking you to accept that your actions 5 years ago bound our fates together, and I wish to honor that bond publicly. Will you accept my claim? Kevin looked at her hand, alien, strange, belonging to a being who'd lived 1,000 human lifetimes. His career was already over. Command would never forgive his refusal to secure the Jathic technology. His plan had been to present humanity's case, then fade into obscurity. Instead, he stood at the center of galactic attention, offered a bond with one of the most powerful beings in known space. He thought about those 47 days in the nebula, talking to what he'd thought was a corpse, reading poetry to what his instruments insisted was already dead. He'd done it because it felt wrong to let anyone, even someone already gone, be alone in the dark. He took her hand. The chamber exploded with light, not from any physical source, but from the sheer weight of 800 civilizations reacting simultaneously. His implant couldn't keep up with the flood of data. Shock, outrage, fascination, fear, awe. Anna squeezed his hand gently. Thank you. What happens now? He asked. Now, her eyes glinted with something that might have been amusement. Now the galaxy learns that humans, for all their youth and chaos, possess something my ancient people have nearly forgotten, the ability to see worth in others without demanding utility in return. She turned back to the Arbiter. And now, I formally sponsor humanity's petition for collective membership. Let any who oppose face me. The silence that followed was even deeper than before. No one opposed. Well, Kivin said quietly, still holding the hand of an alien queen, I suppose this changes our petition somewhat. Anna's laugh resonated through his mind like music from a world he'd never seen. Indeed. Come, Kivin Chen. We have much to discuss, and I believe you were in the middle of a speech. Please continue. I'm quite interested in learning more about my claims people. As Kivin returned to his presentation, hands still held in Anna's, he realized he'd stopped being nervous. Humanity's case would succeed or fail on its own merits now. But for the first time since entering this chamber, he felt he wasn't facing the galaxy alone. Sometimes, he thought, the universe gives back more than you sacrifice. Sometimes, kindness in the dark finds its way home.